What's up, everybody? Back. This time we're going to talk about something lawyer related. Why are legal services so dang expensive? And I myself have wanted this from time to time, even though I am a lawyer. I've had to use some legal services. I'm not going to lie, it sucks when you got to write that check. But write the check, I did. Write the check, my clients do, and there's a reason for it. And by the way, you can write all kinds of different checks. For estate planning, for example, which is what we do, you know, there are clients that hire us and pay a certain amount of money. That's not a small amount of money. There are clients that can go and do things by themselves, LegalZoom, for example, and things like that, and pay a very, very, very tiny amount of money. There are also people that you can hire that are other attorneys that you can pay a tremendous amount of money for. And they all do the same thing, sort of. There are differences. That's why there are differences in price. And price is also a reflection of value. And the amount of value that you think you're going to get out of something is going to also determine the amount of money that you're willing to pay for it. And that is one of the big reasons why legal services are so expensive, because the stakes are typically very high with the thing that you need that attorney for. And so you're willing to pay more. You're willing to pay a higher amount for legal services than you would for like a haircut, for example. And no offense, my haircut lady's relatively expensive as well because I want a good haircut, but the scale is just different, you know? And the reason that legal services are expensive is because the stakes are high. Mistakes can be very, very costly, both from an expense standpoint, from a emotional standpoint, right? From a business standpoint sometimes, depending on what you're working with, from a family standpoint sometimes, depending on what you're working with. And that's why they are expensive. When it comes to estate planning, for example, one of the reasons that people pay and are willing to pay more for estate planning is because they understand that the only time that you can fix an estate planning documents are before something happens to you. After something happens to you, if your documents, if your plan is not put together correctly, you're stuck. You are just out of luck. You have to roll with what you've got. And I've seen that happen before. For example, this is my classic example. I had some people come in, their parent, their mother, I think, had died. There were 4 regular biological kids and there were 4 stepkids. The mom had a will, right? The will gave everything equally to all of the kids. And they brought it in. They needed to do a probate, so they needed to figure it out. They gave me the will, and guess what? The will was not executed properly. It was an invalid will. What does that mean? That means when I came in, everybody was all together. Hey, this is great. We're gonna split everything. It's all good. And then I broke the news to them. I'm sorry, but the will is broke, and it looks like the 4 stepkids are not going to be able to really get anything because the will is invalid. So stepchildren are not considered children under sort of the law of intestate succession. And so the money is really just going to go to the 4 biological kids. But I said, hey, it's no problem. We can work out some things. It's very easy. It's simple. We can figure out a way so that everybody gets what they were supposed to get. And guess what happened? At least one of those biological kids was like, well, I'm not sure if we want to do it that way. And the whole thing broke down. Chaos ensued, as you might expect. And I don't know what's going on with that thing. It's probably still being battled out to this day. All because something was not done correctly at the beginning. And then to fix something at the end is either difficult or impossible. So that is why your legal services are more expensive. But there's one more side to this that I want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, I think, because there's a flip side to this, which I think is interesting and something that I just want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about it, and if you're interested, you can listen. But the flip side of this is, yes, legal services are expensive, but why do lawyers bill by the hour when they should know what they're doing and they should be relatively efficient at what they do? Why do lawyers bill by the hour? That's an interesting question. I don't bill by the hour, and I do it for a very specific reason, and we'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. If you want, by the way, if you listen to this all the way, if you want to hear that, maybe tell me down below. If you're listening to this later on the podcast, you're gonna already know if it's happening or not. But let me know. All right. That's it for today. When you think about all of your services, all the things you're buying, try to think about them in terms of the value that you are receiving instead of the actual price. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for, a good car mechanic. I'm willing to pay a lot more for a brain surgeon. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for a good scoop of ice cream. I'm willing to pay a lot more for Wagyu beef, something, right? I don't know. I'm running out of analogies quickly. But I think you get the idea. The reason it's expensive is because there's a high value placed on that service. The stakes are high, the value's high, so the price is high. All right, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.